because we have several guests here this evening. Item number 7 on the agenda is to consider all matters in low addition to the sale of the waterworks and sewer system revenue bond series 2013. That sale is occurring today, and we have with us our financial advisor, Lloyd London from First Southwest, and then our bond counsel, Chris, from Fulbright and Jaworski, and I'd like to give them the opportunity to address this with you and answer whatever questions you may have. And Janina certainly can chime in on this, or Loretta, but address whatever questions you might have for approval tonight, hopefully. And perhaps they might could head back home there after that. Y'all don't think you're going to have any questions for us, Lloyd? Did I say, what did I say, 7? Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Which copy do you have there, right? I got item number 7. Kim, what's the official?
Number 7. I have number 8.
Don't know what you have. You have the draft? Yeah, you have the draft.
Okay.
Here's the.
Okay, great.
Well, I'm sorry. We must have changed something. Anyway, that's the draft.
Thank you, Gary. We were charged with selling 1.585 at the time it came out of water and sewer revenue bonds. Y'all may have heard a little bit about the market, so we'll talk about that early. And as a matter of fact, we'll just quickly go through this this summary. We'll start at tab A, and that gives you an indicator of the interest rates. What this is, this green line is the AAA 20-year spot, and that obviously moves, but all that should be considered as an index because everything is priced off of these MMD rates. So this just happens to be the 20-year, and you can see it's at a 3.51%. So as ratings decrease, the interest rates rise. But I just put that in there to give you some context on what the market has done the last, really the last few days, for lack of a better word. Behind that, I also put together I put in a commentary written by a gentleman out of our Austin office who does this quite a bit, and it addresses the Bernanke situation and how this got started. But on May the 22nd, Mr. Bernanke came out and said, well, things are looking pretty good, so we may end up, beginning to slow down our asset purchases and things like that. Now, I'm giving you a way oversimplified version of this, but the market finally determined that, things look really good and we know they can't last, so we're going to go ahead and get nervous. And they got nervous. Despite the fact that Mr. Bernanke has since come back out, he's given some targets, and he did raise the target level on unemployment that he would begin to look at. But the market has pretty much ignored that. They've been spooked, and I will tell you, I don't know where the market's going from here, and I wish I could. Typically, you don't have a hard bottom like this. It may go up, may trickle around before it starts to go up, if in fact rates are going up. We really don't know. The one thing that I want to emphasize, though, is 2 years ago, this would have been an excellent interest rate. So it takes us 2 years to get really spoiled in this country. But we're going from 50-year lows about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, to 40-year lows today. So all that being said, these bonds were sold at 4.51%. This is very similar to what we've been doing. This week has been bad, just in terms of being able to get those rates cemented down. One thing we did that we might not otherwise have done is we took this to a negotiated sale. In other words, we engaged an underwriter to come in so we could negotiate with him. We were afraid if we sold this at a competitive sale, the rates that we received would be much higher, because you're asking an underwriter to commit to buy bonds that he hasn't had much of an opportunity to sell in a market that is not feeling good at all. It's one of those markets where he could lose a lot of money, or he could make a lot of money. Most of these underwriters, though, they understand the word lose a lot of money. So they get particularly nervous when we do something like that. Tab B, we have the debt service. So you're looking around, give or take, $120,000 a year. And then tab C, which I always think is important, whether it's good news or whether it's bad news, is the rating report. And as usual in Euless, rating reports are good news. And just on the first page, it's page 2 under the rating summary, the rationale. We get the usual Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex participation, above average income levels, low-cost water and wastewater services provided by Trinity River Authority. One of the things that most, I say that many issuers out there are doing is they're going through some significant plant expansions or replacing plants altogether. And when you're dealing with plants that are 40 years old, and then you're shutting them down and doing new, those rates can really get up. So I just wanted to, notwithstanding the fact that these guys are here, I just wanted to let you know that there's enough sunk cost into the plants on both the Tarrant County Water Project and the regional wastewater system that really helps keep the cost per thousand down. It's a very, very competitive cost per thousand that we don't see a whole lot of at our plants that are outside of mature treatment plants like this. Competitive utility rates, and the one thing that they say when they say competitive utility rates, they also look at financial management. And financial management has always been good. In fact, right after they say competitive utility rates, they talk about management's willingness to systematically increase rates. And that's not increase rates because you want to. That's increase rates because you need to. But many issuers these days, regardless of what they need, won't do it. But the bottom line is I'm prepared to recommend this for your consideration. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Gary, what's our current projected price per 1,000 gallons of 310 water at this extent? Do we have a ballpark on that?
The fee that for 1,000, what is let us get back to what the actual rate is. It's in the ordinance. It's in a rate ordinance right now.
The reason I'm asking, I'm just looking at it. For example, if it's 250 1,000 gallons, then 48 million gallons covers our expense here. It doesn't cover the expense of buying the water, but just the gross, the payment on the. I want to make sure that it is going to be paid for by the user.
Absolutely. They're looking now for that rate, but yeah, that's it will be better for your user. And we're going to talk about the actual project here in a little while, but I would remind you that this is the initial most costly portion of it. So would we tell you that this expenditure that's in item number 8 is well, the water will absolutely pay that back? No, not for this. It's as it grows, right? Because this is the pump. This is the heart
And they were going through 6 to 10 million gallons right there.
As they redo it too, and they have another well that they plan.
The weeks of town is going to be built up down there.
Yeah. Well, like, not the houses themselves, it will reach the common area. It was never intended really to reach the individual homes, but it's the common area.
It's
I can't
tiered.
see that it says.
It's tiered, so it ranges from $3.58 per thousand
Also,
to $4.75.
Significantly less needed to cover just the original cost.
And then even on the construction, the gas well meters that you mentioned, those are at $7.65. So it's a discount, but it is also tiered like our other ones.
Yeah, so 33 million gallons covers, again, not with the profit margin, but just as a gross number. And that much will be used just by the apartments.
Chris Settle is with Fulbright Jaworski, their bond counsel. Chris, you got anything you need to add other than it's legal?
I mean, it's legal, and the only pledge on these are the water and sewer revenues. So that's bondholders, they can only look to water and sewer revenues to get paid. They're not secured by taxes or anything else. It's just the water and sewer revenues.
Which supports what you're saying, is the use as well.
Exactly.
Question? Is there anything that you might envision coming up between now and the council meeting, or do you need them there at 7? We typically release them, they're here if you need them. Boyd and Chris, thanks very much. And so Boyd, when I walked in, I just got really late. By email earlier today, I was a little disappointed in it. I said, I don't know if you did that good a job, but I got an email from one of his competitors that provides financial advisement throughout the Metroplex, and they just, we're not a client, he just sends it to all the city managers in the area. And his first line or two of his emails was, rates have climbed 1.37% since May. The latter part of May, when Mike made his comments, so it went right in line with what Boyd said.
Well, I might just make an observation. We sold some Texarkana water and sewer revenue bonds here about, was it 5 weeks ago, give or take, at a 3.11.